Bill from San Perlita, Texas on a chilly Friday afternoon in Willacy County. Kevin Nara on the call. The boys wrapped up a 103-28 win. And now the girls taking center stage. Tip off at 5:23 and off we go. Lady Trojans, quick bucket. They strike first, and we are underway. Valerie Zoller makes the first bucket for the Lady Trojans. Max Graciani, our Luke Faria Motors player of the game. Elisa Nieto off the glass, up and in. Lady Trojans off to a 4-0 lead in the opening minutes. Be sure to follow us on our social media pages at Real Sports Live on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. And we'll have post-game highlights later this evening. Along with our Luke Faria Motor player of the game. Trying to get that posted here on our social media sites. If my signal on my phone goes through out here in Willacy County, it'll be a little hard to get some cell service out here. But the Lady Trojans not struggling from the floor early. They are off to an 8-0 lead. And Valerie Zoller can complete the three-point play here on the and one. And she does. It's 9-0 Lady Trojans. So let's meet the starting five. A little bit of a shake-up in Coach Marco Munguia's starting five. Elise Nieto, Jasmine Rodriguez, Aaliyah Garcia, Valerie Zoller, and Liv Morgan, all in the starting five for Coach Marco Munguia's Lady Trojans. They too are coming off a win Tuesday evening at district rival San Isidro in a game that went right down to the wire and saw the Lady Trojans pull away for a 3-point win down over in San Isidro, just west of here. Nieto gets her own rebound, easily puts it back in. 11-0 Lady Trojans on Real Sports Live.
Gonzalez of Josh Moody Loans are former Harlingen Cardinals and would like to wish all the teams good luck in tonight's games.
Forever Memories, Antiques and Collectibles, located at 237 North Sam Houston in San Benito, is filled with vintage items, collectibles, and a selection of vinyl records that's as good as it gets. Every shelf, every aisle, and table is filled daily by a number of vendors that ensures that something here just might be the item you have to have. The vinyl record area helps bring an added atmosphere that makes for the fun trip when stepping back in time with the memories. Forever Memories, Antiques and Collectibles in San Benito.
Welcome back after the timeout. 11-0 Lady Trojans with the lead. The starting five for Coach Taisha Cipriano: Lily Cano, Kristen Garza, Camila Garcia, Haley Cervantes, and Sadie Vieira. And the starting five for the road team in the road red uniforms. Benavides healthier than the last time we saw them, or the last time I covered them down over at San Isidro. Benavides only were able to suit up 6. San Isidro only able to suit up 5 that night. One of the more unique games that I have seen this year, where one team had exactly 5, the other had 6. Just injuries and COVID cases hamstringing both teams a couple weeks ago. Benavides at the time was just running through the gauntlet. They were behind in their district schedule. Now they're trying to find the scoreboard as they trail by 2 touchdowns here with 4:55 in the opening quarter. Zoller, that shot won't go. Going up and getting the rebound is Garza. Pass inside. Shot gets knocked away. Foul called on the floor. So Garcia will go to the free throw line. And makes the first. Misses the second. Morgan has it. Ball out to Rodriguez. Garcia pulls the trigger from downtown, gets the 3. And Aaliyah Garcia makes it 17-1. 4 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Lady Trojans with a commanding lead. Rodriguez comes up with the steal. Just misses the layup. Offensive board, second chance, won't go. Benavides comes down with a rebound, loose ball picked up. Turnover. Nieto fires from downtown, can't hit the 3. Zoller quickly puts it back up off the glass, no good. And another offensive board from the Lady Trojans, Jasmine Rodriguez. They go inside to Garcia, misses the layup, another offensive board. Now the Lady Eagles are gonna try and push it back on the other end as Vieira. (17-1), 3:22 in the first quarter. Vieira just missed on that 3-pointer. Nieto comes down with a loose ball. Substitutions now going to come in. So Summer Terry, Daniela Ramos. A couple of substitutions coming in the game. Naomi Barrera and Summer Terry in the game for the Lady Trojans. So some substitutions. A couple of the Trojans still here hanging out. Yeah, Max, Eli, Ethan, Sam. Looks like they may stick around and watch the girls. I know Eli's has his eyes on his younger sister. He's always rooting. You can see whenever Summer makes a basket, Eli the first one there to celebrate. Summer just a sophomore, Eli a senior. 19-1, 2:20 in the first. Rodriguez passes it up. Ramos gets fouled. She'll go to the line. Misses the first. And misses the second, misses them both. Rebounded by Cervantes. Lady Eagles coming back on the other end. 2 minutes to go in the first. 3 ball won't go. Rebounded by San Perlita, and back comes Rodriguez. Rodriguez, good look inside. Terry's shot won't go. 1:40 left in the first quarter. The Lady Eagles and the Lady Trojans, like the boys' game, this is the first time that these two teams meet up. The original date was January 14th. The girls will have a quick turnaround as they'll face Benavides next week on the road. As this district still trying to play catch up with multiple teams following COVID protocols. Teams having to make up a lot of games in a short stretch. With on the girls' side of things, their district certification quickly approaching. So now these coaches have to quickly get these games in as quickly as they can before that district certification. Ramos floats it over to Rodriguez. Terry kicked it out to Naomi Barrera, had a clean shot. Couldn't finish, under a minute to go in the first. Terry goes up, gets fouled, just about got an and one. She will go to the free throw line. Missed on both free throws, but Terry comes up with the steal, goes down the baseline. Can't get the layup. Both Nieto and Terry. Trying to come down with a rebound, couldn't get it. 20 seconds left on the first. Final seconds of the first quarter. Guards at an inbound. Final seconds, 3, 2, 1, right at the buzzer. Lady Trojans and the first quarter in style. They lead by 20 as we head to the second.
Josh Moody and Coach Rolly Gonzalez of Josh Moody Loans are former Harlingen Cardinals and would like to wish all the teams good luck in tonight's games. Josh Moody and Coach Rolly Gonzalez of Josh Moody Loans are former Harlingen Cardinals and would like to wish all the teams good luck in tonight's games.
Whether you're visiting or vacationing at South Padre Island, be sure to book your place to stay with Island Services. Locally owned for over 40 years. Trusted, reliable for condo and beach house rentals. Call and visit the website today. Island Services.
We are La Villa, and you're watching Real Sports Live.
Music lovers, you have to stop and see the assortment of records, tapes, and records memorabilia at Forever Memories today. Located at 237 North Sam Houston in San Benito, Texas, there's over 10,000 records on display and more coming every day. Looking for your favorite album from the past, first pressings, collectibles, how about a 45 with a single you just have to have? Freddie Fender, Johnny Cash, Hank Williams, Elvis, Beatles, blues, rock, classics, Tejano, it's all here. Organized and priced for you. Forever Memories, 237 North Sam Houston, San Benito.
Welcome back. 7:30 in the second quarter, 21-1. Coach Nate Garza, the San Perlita Trojans, here joining us. What's going on? Early day, huh?
Early day. You're doing a good job, Kevin, calling this game.
You guys come out and got the job done. You know, one thing that I talked with Max was that he's a senior. Eli, you guys have a lot of veterans on this group. Was that how important was it for these boys to understand that today they had Benavides, not to just get ahead of themselves to what's to come on Tuesday?
Well, I think just kind of like what you said, I have a veteran group, you know, and we always take it one game at a time. You know, we never look ahead, and we just always focus at the task at hand and trying to play to the best of our ability and execute no matter who we play. So we just always focus, you know, like I told my guys, the next game is the most important game. You know, we played well today, you know, so now it's time to look forward to the next game and try to prepare for McMullen on Tuesday.
No, that's a road game, and you guys no stranger to playing in big games, whether it's at home or on the road. But leading up to Tuesday, you know, today's Friday, so you guys have Monday to prepare. Saturday, I'm not sure if you have practice plans for Saturday or not, but just when you guys go into these big games, what's the mindset and maybe the preparation? Do things do you up the ante just a little more?
I mean, well, obviously when you go out and play, you know, a team like McMullen and especially on the road, you know that the energy level is going to be up, the intensity level is going to be up. You know, you're going to have two quality teams going at it, and energy is going to be at a playoff level. So, but I think, you know, at the end of the day, it still just comes down to playing basketball, execute, you know, getting stops, and you know, at the end of the day, that's what we try to focus on. No matter, you know, how hostile the environment is or how packed, you know, how many fans. At the end of the day, we just try to control what happens between the 94 feet. So, but again, like you said, having a veteran group helps because they've been a part of a lot of big games.
And it seems as if, you know, the later we get into the season, you know, a month ago, you know, maybe we were talking about the guys maybe trying to find their rhythm. Maybe some guys' shots were off. But now I feel, even though despite you guys are shorthanded, I feel that we're starting to see some of the better basketball from you guys these last few weeks.
Yeah, and again, I mean, our season really has been, you know, like a roller coaster, ups and downs. We started the season very well. You know, we were playing ball very well leading up to the Christmas break. And then after the Christmas break, you know, we just started getting some injuries, and you know, our school got shut down for a week, and we hadn't, you know, there was a while that we didn't play, almost a month with no basketball games, a week and a half with no practice. So, you know, and then obviously the rust was a factor. You know, so now at this point, I feel like even though we're still shorthanded, we're missing a huge player for us. Diego Ortiz, I mean, he's huge for us. I mean, he's a big part of the reason for our success, and he's a great point guard for us, and you know, he's a great defender, and not having him on the floor is a big minus for us. But you know, we have, you know, guys like Ethan Romo that has filled in very nicely for him. You know, and it looks like we're finally starting to get our basketball legs back after that Christmas break. You know, hopefully, you know, we expect Diego Ortiz to be back shortly, and you know, once he's back and Colt Cavazos comes back, and you know, hopefully, you know, we start peaking at the right time. And but I tell you what, guys have been doing a very nice job filling in. You know, there was a time that I was out. You know, Eli, Terry, Max Graciani, and Diego Ortiz were all out. You know. Yeah, at one point, you know, and the bench did a very good job stepping in. So I think also we've been getting deeper because of it, you know. But hopefully, we'll have a full squad soon and continue to improve and get better.
That's one thing that Albert Pena brought up. You know, it was a good point that he said it was an opportunity for you to see some of these younger guys and taking advantage of those opportunities. And one guy that you mentioned was Colt. Right. 38 points against, was it La Sara a couple weeks ago? San Isidro, the first round here.
Yeah, he you know, he's a guy that has gotten, you know, he would get minutes, you know, here and there, and depending on how he was playing, you know, he would either extend his minutes, but We knew at that game somebody was going to step up, and a lot of guys did step up. Julian Johnson stepped us for that game. Eloy Zamorano had stepped us for that game. Sam Barrera took about 4 charges in that game. But Colt, I mean, he went off in that game. Had 38 points, hit 4 threes in a row at one point. And again, that game was huge for him, and I think he grew as a player. He's just a freshman, but I mean, he played like a veteran in that game, and I thought that game was huge for him because I saw him grow as a player. And when he comes back from his injury, I know he's going to be a key factor in our team, and he's going to help our rotation with his length and his energy. So he's also obviously going to become a very big piece, for our team now and in the future.
He's been a pleasant surprise for you, and you and I have talked before about this, but obviously last year when the season came to an end, and you said, hey, like, I realize what the regional tournament is about. Obviously a few years ago reaching it, but this time winning a game in the regional tournament and coming back that next day and realizing that, okay, now I know what we need, and that's depth. This
Right.
year I feel you have it because you're seeing guys emerge like Colt,
Right.
guys like Julian, guys like now you're seeing that Ethan Romo can step up.
Right.
How much does that help for you going forward, knowing that you now have those pieces? As we're all getting ready for the stretch run here.
Right. I think last year was a great experience. I mean, it was a regional tournament, and obviously playing the back-to-back days. Our first game, we played a very tough Trinidad team, and we were able to play well. We won that game, but I felt we had no legs the next day, and I think that really hurt us because we played a very deep Rock Springs team, and so obviously one of the things that we tried to attack in the offseason was getting deeper because I knew we were going to need it, especially playing back-to-back days. And so that's one of the biggest things that we wanted to get better at is get deeper. We knew we were going to be top-heavy, but, we wanted to get better at guys 7 through 10. And I think we're doing that, and again, and I think with this stretch at one point I had 3 starters out and still have Diego Ortiz out, other guys are being able to get those heavy minutes. They're developing, and they're doing very nice for us, so, hopefully we can, again, get it together and prepare for hopefully another deep run this year with in a very tough region as well.
What's the region looking like? I mean, and I know you're out there, McMullen, Dimebox, Calvert. What are we looking at now that we're, like I said, we're just about there?
Well, you look at and here's the thing is again there's still a lot of basketball left to play, but these 4 teams that you just mentioned potentially can play in the second round. That's how it happened last year. McMullen's a very good team. Dimebox is a very good team. So is Calvert. I like to think that we are up there for sure. And then you have a dark horse team that not a lot of people are talking about in Welder. And they're a team that played a very tough schedule. They're kind of behind the radar. But now they're starting to play very good basketball in their district. They're starting to develop. So you can never count a team like them out, or a team like Chireno that's also starting to play really good. Trinidad is still there. They got some key pieces from last year. So, you talk about Dimebox and Calvert and McMullen, and you talk about us, but there's still, Welder out there. There's still Trinidad. There's still, Chireno's out there, and other teams in the region that play very good ball. We're in a very deep region, and it's going to be a very tough road, just like it was for us last year. So it's good basketball, but it's very tough basketball.
It almost feels, like back in the mid-'90s, you had Cowboys-Niners. That NFC Championship game was the Super Bowl.
Right, yeah.
It's almost as if this region, when you get to the regional tournament, this is the state semis, the state finals, just about when you really look at it from a state point of view, and a lot would say that this region is the toughest region. And
yeah, I like to think so, and I mean maybe I'm being biased, but I like to think that my opinion, is that Region 4 is the toughest region and the deepest region, and again you have us, and the crazy part about it is a lot of these teams are in the same district. Dimebox and Calvert are in the same district. Us and McMullen are in the same district, and then obviously the other teams that I just mentioned. So my opinion, I think Region 4 is the toughest and deepest region, but again, it's great basketball. It's great basketball, and at the end of the day, it's like I tell the guys in a playoff run, there's no room for error. It's going to be whoever makes the least mistakes, because all the teams can score, all the teams can defend. So at the end of the day, it's like it's you have very little room for error to make that run, because there's a lot of high quality teams in our region.
And when you look at it from the regional tournament standpoint, everyone that's there is pretty darn good. Whoever wins a darn regional tournament, I mean, wow, you talk about deserving.
Right.
Come through it.
Right, and then you talk about, well, like last year, for example. We talk about the regional tournament, but last year we played Dimebox in the second round. McMullen plays Calvary. So you had two of the best teams in the region get bounced in the second round because of the format.
Right.
And that's tough because Dimebox was a top 10 team. McMullen was a top 10 team. And then the third round, you had Calvert and Rock Springs that were both ranked in the top 5. So you got, so you have your regional tournament that's titled the regional tournament, but you guys, you have very tough, deep teams getting bounced in the second round, the third round, that's just the way. And again, that's the way the format is. But again, it's you can say that quality regional tournament teams are playing against each other in this region in the second and third round before you even get to the regional tournament.
That's what I'm saying. It's essentially just about as close as to a state tournament as you can get without getting there because of how tough it is.
Mm-hmm.
Switching gears, 32-6A, I know you and I have a lot of close friends in that district. Marco Hinojosa just might pull something off, and we'll know tonight. The current standings going into tonight, Weslaco 9-1, South 7-3, Hannah 6-4, Harlingen 6-4. Then it gets tricky. San Benito 5-5, Los Fresnos 4-6. Weslaco is hosting South. Hannah is at Los Fresnos. Harlingen has Donna North. San Benito has Rivera. So to play devil's advocate here, I'm going to go on and say Weslaco. To make it simple, Weslaco wins. They're 10-1. South is 7-4. Harlingen will beat Donna North tonight. They'll be 7-4. If Hannah can win, they'll be 7-4. That's the easiest scenario. If you want to get crazy, Weslaco loses. They're 9-2. South wins. They're 8-3. Hannah loses. They're 6-5. Harlingen wins. They're 7-4. We'll keep it at that. San Benito beats Rivera. They're 6-5. Los Fresnos beats Hannah. They're 5-6, and Hannah's 6-5.
And again, you mentioned Los Fresnos. I mean, Marco's a very good friend of mine. I started my coaching career there with him, and they're playing good basketball as of late. It looks like they're starting. I know he's got a lot. He's got some young pieces, and it looks like they're starting to get it together. If you ask me, I think he's going to pull it off, and he's going to find a way to get that 4th spot. But then again, that's me. That's just me backing a good friend up, that program up. I think he does a great job. They're well coached. And I'm hoping. I'm a fan of his program and what he does, and I'm hoping he finds a way to squeeze in that 4th spot. And the crazy part is that all of his losses have been by 1 point, 2 points. I mean, they're in the. He can easily be 7-1.
Right. Because he loses to Harlingen at the buzzer.
Right.
He loses to South in a close one.
Right.
So, and Leroy Sanchez, assistant over at Harlingen, told me that because they just lost to Los Fresnos.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely.
Earlier this week, and he's like, they're a good team. And he said the exact same thing you said was that who they lose to? They lost to us on a buzzer beater. They lost to South in the last few seconds. And they've been playing all these teams tough. So tonight's a big night, and it's it's in Los Fresnos.
Right, and they play well at home. That's one thing. And again, that coaching staff, Marco and Kike Hernandez, they've been a part of big games and do or die games. So this is nothing new to them. But I hope they do pull it off tonight. I think they will pull off a win tonight. But again, that's just me backing up a great friend and a great program.
If they do get the win tonight, then Marco then becomes the biggest Harlingen fan, because then Harlingen goes to Hannah on Tuesday.
Okay.
So
and Hannah beat Harlingen the first time.
Hannah beat Harlingen the first time. They beat them the first time, and Harlingen, they're supposed to get Evan Vasquez back tonight. That should bolster them up a little bit. And they need a win. They survived last week in overtime against San Benito.
You see, that's also a crazy district because anybody can beat anybody in that district, and it looks like everybody's playing each other close games. Now you have a very much improved San Benito team that you can't take lightly anymore. They're beating people.
They're 5-5.
Yeah,
they're right in the mix.
Yeah, they're beating people. They have good quality wins. I think Coach Garza there is doing a great job with that program. And it's a team that you can no longer take lightly. They have some high quality wins, and even their losses, they're in the ballgame. So now that district was already tough, and now you add another team that's getting better. So it's a tough district, and anybody can beat anybody, and any of those 4 teams that make the playoffs can win that first round too.
Yes, it's definitely a favorable matchup. Although if you were to ask some coaches in the 32-6A, they'd say, match up better against them.
Well,
or match
yeah,
up-
obviously.
you know, but
Right.
you know what? Over on the other side, going into tonight, you have Vela who's in first. You have Edinburgh North who's in second with 2 losses, and then you have let's see, you have Economides who beat Vela earlier this week,
Right.
and then that's where it gets tricky. You have both PSG North and Edinburgh High both 7-6
Okay.
for the 4th spot. So there's still a lot of kinks to work out there. But hey, tonight's gonna be fun, and I'm definitely we're gonna be out of here in time to see what exactly happens in Los Fresnos. Because I'll tell you what, I think, and I'll say this now, that if he makes the playoffs, I think this will be some of his best work.
Yeah, I think. Yeah,
Because
I agree. I mean, I mean, he's a great coach. He does a great job with that program. And then obviously, you know, he had hit this off season. You know, was obviously a big challenge for him. You know, losing a huge piece, and then to come in and now have to work with this team and kind of, in a way, find a new identity. So being able to turn around those young pieces and having that team find a new identity, you know, I think the record really doesn't speak for the tremendous job he's been doing with this group. I mean, he loses his best player, and again, I never had any doubt because he does a great job with that tradition and that program as a whole. I mean, great players have graduated in and out from Los Fresnos, but he always finds a way to keep them competitive, playing at a high level. And I know here's the thing. I know he has good young pieces and then very young pieces coming up. You know, so I think, you know, he's going to be right back up there at top of the district in no time, just because of the quality work that he does and the young pieces that he has that I see that are coming up. You know, so but I think he's doing a great job. He had a tough off season, but I mean, he's a worker, and you know, he keeps moving forward. So he does a great job building that program and keeping it going.
yeah, if he wins tonight, I'm putting the rest of the district on alert.
They're playing good ball right now.
Yeah.
They're playing and at the right time. You know, but you know, hopefully he does pull it off tonight. Obviously, I'm pulling for him and his team.
So we're going to step aside. We're going to show you some first half highlights. Coach Nate Garza, thanks for joining us. When we come back, you're watching Real Sports Live.
Josh Moody and Coach Rolly Gonzalez of Josh Moody Loans are former Harlingen Cardinals and would like to wish all the teams good luck in tonight's games.
This game is brought to you in part by the Concession Stand in Santa Rosa, a locally owned business providing a terrific atmosphere before or after the games and supporting athletes of all ages. When you're in Santa Rosa, be sure to stop by the Concession Stand and choose from the wide assortment of goodies. An advertising partner with Real Sports Live is the Concession Stand.
Come visit our new store in downtown Harlingen. We have furniture, appliances, clothes, collectibles, and more. All funds collected support the Sunny Glen Children's Home. Come see us at Vintage on Jackson at First and Jackson in Harlingen.
Plan your escape. Beach, bay, or both. Sun rises and sunsets daily. So why wait? SoPadre.com.
And now the girls taking center stage. Tip off at 5:23, and off we go. Lady Trojans, quick bucket. They strike first, and we are signal on my phone goes through out here in Willacy County. Be a little hard to get some cell service out here, but the Lady Trojans covered them down over at San Isidro. Benavides only were able to suit up 6. San Isidro only able to suit up 5 that night. One of the more Morgan has it. Ball out to Rodriguez. Garcia pulls the trigger from downtown, gets the 3. And Aaliyah Garcia makes it 17-1. Sam, looks like they may stick around and watch the girls. I know Eli's has his eyes on his younger sister. He's always rooting. You can see whenever Summer makes a basket. Final seconds, 3, 2, 1, right at the buzzer. Lady Trojans and the first quarter in style. They lead by 20 as we head to the second.
I think that really hurt us because we played a very deep Rock Springs team, and so obviously one of the things that we tried to attack in the offseason was getting deeper, because I knew we were going to need it, especially the stretch. And at one point I had 3 starters out and still have Diego Ortiz out. Other guys are being able to get those heavy minutes. They're developing, and they're doing very nice for us. So hopefully we can again get it together and
Plan your escape. Beach, bay, or both. Sunrises and sunsets daily. So why wait? SoPadre.com.
And now the... All right, welcome back. Back by popular demand. Albert Pena, superintendent here at San Perlita. Second half action. Lady Trojans and the Lady Eagles off and running here in the second half. 42-4, Lady Trojans with the lead and looking good. We had Coach Nate Garza join us in that second quarter, just talking Trojan basketball and all the craziness going down in a 32-6, and tonight's a big night for that district. Also giving you just a little preview of what's to come on Tuesday against McMullen, as Aaliyah Garcia hits a three-pointer. And AP, let's talk about Aaliyah. Coach Munguia, I remember when I was at the newspaper, when Aaliyah came up through the ranks, right away he knew that he had something special.
Yeah, she's one of those four-year varsity players. I believe Elisa is as well. I know Coach Munguia mentioned that Jasmine Rodriguez was six-man earlier in her career before hitting the starting lineup. But very talented young lady in volleyball and basketball. A great student. I'm old enough to confess that I was her mom's teacher when her mom was in high school. Also a great student, great athlete.
And this is Elisa?
Aaliyah.
Aaliyah. Okay, Aaliyah Garcia.
But Elisa's dad was my student as well. Jasmine's mom was my student, kind of looking out there. And Bella, obviously, Jasmine's sister. I started teaching when I was 14, though, so I'm not that old.
Wow. 14. You've spent all your time here in San Perlita, or what were your other stops?
My first year was coaching in 1990 at West Oso in Corpus Christi. 3 years in Laredo at the United School District, and got here in 1994 and kind of never turned around.
Since 94, you've been here in San Perlita. Wow.
Pretty much. I left for a year. I had an assistant principal job at Rio Hondo for 1 year, but then I came back. Dr. Tony Lara, the superintendent, called me back, and I couldn't say no. So here I am. That was 04, 05.
48-4. It's also Parents' Night here, right?
Yes. We are going to do Parents' Night after this game. Normally you do it between the games, but we moved them up early for travel and then to accommodate Benavides. And so we're going to hold it afterwards. Hopefully all the parents that work have time to get prettied up and
Yes.
Make it out here to get some due recognition. They're the ones that pick these kids up at 6 p.m. or drop them off at 6 a.m. till they're old enough to drive. They pay good money for those basketball shoes,
Yep.
summer camps, all that other stuff. Follow these kids on the road, which is not cheap with the cost of gas these days. So, really appreciative of the support that we get from our parents and like to recognize them after the game tonight. This being our last home game. It's also a special night for the seniors, their last Parents' Night. You can see Mrs. Kilborn, our principal. She's bringing roses for the moms, and of course the dads get a pat on the back.
Yes, a fist bump and a pat on the back.
There you go.
Yep, same way. 50-4, Lady Trojans with the lead. Three-pointer off the mark, second chance, can go. Looking for Ramos back on the other end. Drives through, puts it up with the right hand. She gets fouled, so it's Ramos, Garcia, Rodriguez, Nieto on the court for Coach Marco Munguia. Daniela Ramos at the free throw line. You know, for most of these girls, they went 3 deep in the volleyball season, I believe for a 3rd straight year, and right when volleyball ended, no rest. Time to get your basketball legs under you, and volleyball starts, what, in August 2nd? These
Yeah,
girls,
typically
right?
the first week of August is when they start working out. They don't normally get a basketball scrimmage in because of the volleyball playoffs. You know, the same will happen hopefully with softball. You know, they'll go from the basketball playoff game maybe on a Tuesday or Friday, and then hit the softball field pretty quickly after that. But that's I guess that's the price you pay for having successful programs that are able to win a game or two in the playoffs.
Right. Point being is that these kids really haven't had much of a break, but they're used to it.
Yeah,
Garcia.
you're right. I was talking with Coach Zubia, the athletic director from Benavides, and he was telling me about the summer programs that they've implemented there at his district, and telling me about it. He's got a big sophomore class of 30 kids right now. I asked him what enrollment they submitted to UIL for this realignment, and he said they've about 80 kids in their high school, so you know, about the size of ours, but a big sophomore class of 30 kids that he's really high on. He's got some junior high kids that he's hoping to put into the high school program in the next couple of years. So, you know, it's tough at these small schools because you got kids that they're asked to do everything. These same kids, you know, are in the FFA. They were at a stock show last weekend, National Honor Society, Student Council, all that good stuff.
I saw you guys got a new bus.
We did. We purchased an activity bus. It's a school bus. It's modified a little bit. Instead of the 72 passenger seating, it's got seating for about 48. It's got real comfortable bucket seats. It's got Wi-Fi. It's got USB ports at every seat. You know, just to be a little more comfortable for some of those long trips. You know, when you travel to McMullen County for a district game and then beyond that for playoffs and tournaments and stuff, those are long trips. So yeah, we want our kids to be comfortable.
Yeah, no, well deserving. I caught the bus when I was leaving San Isidro. I was like, there you go, and I'm sure the kids appreciate not the bucket seats but the USB ports. Charge that phone.
Yeah, charge those phones and the Wi-Fi. You kind of hope they're doing their homework, but you know, not always.
Yeah. Good for them. They're well deserving.
They're following Coach Munguia's Twitter feed.
Some substitutions for Coach Munguia's squad here in the third quarter.
Let's see. He's got Valerie Zoller in, number 23. Liv Morgan is 21. Sydney Strader, number 3. Naomi Barrera, number 12. And, of course, Summer Terry running the point.
Yep, just a sophomore. A couple of young guns out there for Coach Marco Munguia. Out to Barrera. Strader, that shot just short. Now, I was mentioning earlier that Benavides, talking about district certification coming up a couple of weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, in fact. They had some tough sledding when they went up against San Isidro. They just had 6. They had played the night before, Tuesday night against Bruni, Wednesday at San Isidro, Friday, I believe it was against McMullen, and then Saturday against La Sara, or vice versa. But Coach Cipriano Taisha taking on the program, and she had just mentioned that this district, they were well behind the 8 ball. They had a lot of games in a short period of time, and she had 6 girls suited up against the Lady Tigers that Wednesday night in San Isidro.
Yeah, and then as you mentioned, there's good competition on the girls' side in this district too.
Yep.
You know, I'd like to think our girls are pretty good. You got San Isidro, that's a formidable foe, and right now McMullen County Cowgirls at the top of the heap.
They're the big bad wolf in this district so far. But the big thing for you all, for San Perlita, is that getting that win at San Isidro set the table for the game on Tuesday. That, like I said, you guys can get a piece of the pie. You guys can get a win Tuesday on the road for that district title.
That is correct. You know, and that's all you can do is give yourself a chance, and then, you know, hope to force a tiebreaker and see what happens. I know you were part of that last year with our boys.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Let's do it again.
You know, yeah, do it again, but, you know, I'd kind of like a little more comfortable margin of victory and not have to come back from double digits in the last 4.5 minutes. But
no kidding.
Hey, you take them however you can get them.
Yes. Yes. You know, that game a lot like that Flatonia game where Garza just said, we're playing them in a tiebreaker, and it's in, was it in Benavides? Or
it was at Benavides, that's
right?
correct. That was on a Saturday right before that big freeze came in. And
yep. So let's have a little fun here. You guys say you guys win at McMullen and you guys end up in a tie. By your bylaws in your district, do you guys have the option of just flipping, playing for it, or what are the options?
The coaches can agree, you know, I'll take the first seed, I'll take the second seed, we'll be co-champs if it's by mutual agreement. You know, sometimes they'll look at the playoff brackets and, you know, maybe we match up better with this guy and you match up better with those guys. But, you know, you want to, more often than not, you want to play it out and be a district champ. I mean, the kids want that. Nobody wants, you know, you don't see a lot of T-shirts that say co-champs.
Yes, yeah. Never thought of it that way.
But you got to go. If speaking from our standpoint, both boys and girls, they've got to go out there and take care of business on Tuesday before they worry about T-shirts or tiebreakers or coin tosses or anything like that.
Right.
You know, you need to stay focused on the task at hand. I'm sure these guys will be back in the gym tomorrow morning trying to get ready. You know, a couple of days of practice Saturday and Monday, and then that long trip out to Tilden Tuesday.
It is a long trip. We went up there for that volleyball game with DeHanis and San Isidro, and I felt like I never got there. Getting to Three Rivers was the easy part, and then you had to take a left at the light, and you just keep going.
23 more miles till you get to the billboard that says proclaims the free state of McMullen County.
23 miles, is that it?
I believe it's 23 from Three Rivers to Tilden.
Felt like a lot more.
So I went to college in Kingsville with a guy that had gone to McMullen County, and he was real proud. He was from a little town called Fowlerton, and you know, people would ask him, "Where are you from?" He says, "Fowlerton." And where is that? And he says, "Well, it's 6 miles from Tilden." And they look at him and say, "Well, where's Tilden?" That's 6 miles from Fowlerton. The old circular reference there.
Yes. Who was it? Someone said that you know you're from Texas when you measure distance. Was it in miles or hours?
Hours.
Hours.
I believe it was hours.
Someone told me, they said, "I know you're from Texas." I was like, it was hours. Because they go, "I know you're from Texas." I'm like, how? They said, you just said it takes you 5 hours to get from your house to Houston. I said, well, it does. It takes 5 hours to get to Houston. Takes 6 hours to get to College Station. Takes about 9 to get to Dallas. They're like, you see, you're from Texas.
Yeah, when people
4 to San Antonio.
When people ask where San Perlita's at, I tell them 2 hours south of Corpus, then take a left and go another 9 miles. And
Good
I'll
answer.
Tell them you don't get there unless you're going there, because you got to turn off 186 to get here too. And we're not on the way to anywhere.
Port Mansfield.
Well, but not technically, because you've got to turn off the highway.
Right,
so,
right. We head to the fourth quarter, 59-7, Lady Trojans with the lead. And that's what we were saying, that when the folks from McMullen come to town, they say, well, where the heck is San Perlita? It's in the middle of nowhere. We never got there. And I said, well, The Valley folks feel the same when we have to go up to McMullen. It's like, we never got there. Garcia goes off the dribble, puts it up with the right hand, can't go. Kicks it back out. Rodriguez shot off the mark. Another offensive board for the Lady Trojans. Garcia calling for it, spots up a three. And the Lady Eagles coming back on the other end. Sadie Vieira running the point. Starters still in for San Perlita. Pulls the trigger. Three won't go. Cervantes comes down with a rebound. Trying to get into double digits here on the road are the Lady Eagles that shot off the mark. Rebounded by Ramos. And now Nieto will push it back up. Early stages of the fourth quarter in Willacy County, San Perlita, Texas. On a chilly, chilly Friday night. As Rodriguez drives through the lane,
Kevin,
more.
it's a little more than chilly out there.
Well, I tell you what, normally it's not that cold. Yesterday I didn't think it was too cold. When it's in the 40s, I'll say the same, but no, I will admit today is cold. It's that wind that right now it's, you're not outside, you're not from the valley, it's relentless, and that's when it gets to you.
And we just hope that it stays dry so that the roads are safe as these fans go home after tonight's game, especially our visitors from Benavides. I believe it's about 105 miles from here to there.
Yep, tip of the hat to you guys for moving up the games, working with the road team.
Yeah, like I said earlier, we certainly didn't want to postpone these games any further because of that other one that's got to be made up and the girls' certification deadline coming up a week from tomorrow.
Second chance, rattles in and out of the rim. Ramos with the board, gets it up to Nieto. Rodriguez thought about the three, some substitutions getting ready to come in for the Lady Trojans. (63-10) the score. Terry and Barrera checking in. I know you guys always host a great tournament. I was actually up in Cedar Park for the MMA football game Thursday night, then Friday down at Alamo Stadium for Mission Veterans. I was like, dang. I was looking forward to the tournament every year. I kind of stupid COVID ruined it last year. Didn't have a tournament, so I missed it out twice. I was like, oh. You guys in the Vale. You guys in the Vale host awesome tournaments. I've said it with people around me. Those are my two favorites.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, but we really enjoy putting on that event for our community and, of course, for all the visitors that come in. We've had upwards of 24, 25 teams. This year, I think we played like 54, 55 games. So, yeah, it's a huge undertaking, but we're very fortunate that we have a staff that supports us, and everybody that runs that tournament is a volunteer. Whether they're coaches, community members, and we round up the troops to stock that hospitality room that we take great pride in as well.
Oh, 100%. You kidding? The Vale and the Wiseman down in La Feria. That's back-to-back weeks, though. Back-to-back weeks of a lot of basketball and a lot of food. And, the two things about I would say two tournaments, because La Feria hosts them both. You guys hosting this one is just the hospitality. You come in and you guys make it very easy for us to just come in, do our thing, and The food is great, and there's just like a cozy home feeling when you come here to this tournament and down in La Feria. Coach Oscar Salinas, Miss Jenny Lee, they do a great job, and Coach Lopez on the girls' side and Coach Dario on the boys' side, and it's always a lot of fun to come down here and to go up there.
One of the things that I really appreciated this year is also the students in our audio video production class had the opportunity to work the cameras, multiple cameras for some of those tournament games. One of our kids, James Serrato, he was here with Ruben working this little mixing board that you guys have. So got a little experience in, I guess, producing the broadcast. So that's been a great partnership as well. We really appreciate that.
It's been a lot of fun, yeah. And I know Joe was excited about it. We were excited about it. And to get these youngsters involved. And who knows, this time next year they may be in this seat or in a few years. It's always good to have your homegrown products. Terry kicks it out to Barrera. She thinks about the three, pulls the trigger, can't go. Second chance, off the mark.
So I'll share with our viewers that we're about to secure, I believe it's upwards of $60,000 of funding through a regional grant to purchase more equipment for our audio video production classes. And I've told our director, Mr. Torres, that he may have enough money there to actually put together his own TV studio. So we're real excited about providing those kind of opportunities for our kids.
It's a fun gig to get into.
Yeah, we might have the next Kevin Naro here walking the halls of San Perlita High School.
It's a lot of fun, and when the younger guys that come up and do this line of work, I said, hey, your biggest worry today is, what game am I going to go to today? Which team am I going to cover on Friday? Which game am I going to go to next week? So it's a lot of fun. And then the camaraderie, you get to meet a lot of new people.
Yes, I've enjoyed all the different broadcasters and other talent y'all have sent our way. Always good talking to them.
69-10. We're looking at a 1-1 here for Daniela Ramos. So of course, Taisha here, Cipriano, her pops knows a thing or two. We were talking earlier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The great Johnny Cipriano. I've said that on air plenty of times. Anyone that wants to debate me, feel free. If they want to say otherwise about Johnny Cipriano and the things he's done for Valley basketball and just the runs that he's gone on. And I know Nate looks up to him. They got a good relationship.
And all he does is win. I mean, he's down at Santa Maria and, winning there too, which is no surprise to anybody that pays attention.
Yeah.
Now, what do you think, Coach Munguia, more or less sweaty than the San Isidro game? I want to say less.
I say less.
And, it does help that, as you said, it's a little chilly in here.
Yeah. And the stress level isn't as high. He was sweating before the game. But I always like giving him a hard time.
Well, he is intense, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
You ought to walk into his classroom and see him teach. He's on fire.
What does he teach?
Middle school ELA.
Interesting. That's right. He's told me about his writing background. He actually did a piece on I think it was on the Cotton Bowl this year. Wasn't too bad. In fact, I owe him a dinner. I lost to him last year in the fantasy football championship. So I told him, I was like, well, whenever you get a chance, I do owe you dinner. He's actually part of the RSL family in the fall. He does a good job for us calling football games. And he's
Yes, he does.
he's a perfectionist because he'll call me and he'll say, Kevin, La Feria is playing Hidalgo this week. Who does La Feria have? And I say, well, they got this kid, Dario Sanchez, at quarterback. What are his stats? What does he look like? What does he do? What do they run? Do they run the spread? Do they run this? And I'm like, oh, this guy wants to know the kid's shoe size.
I've had a couple of chances to call the Willacy County Cotton Bowl with him at Lyford, the Raymondville Lyford game, which is always a big one here in Willacy County, and that's always fun. Yeah, it's good to share a booth with Coach Munguia.
I call him Muggs, M-U-G-S, Muggs, Marco Munguia. Yeah, we're always happy to have him. And once the calendar turns over to November, I'm just looking at my phone, waiting for him to text me and say, Kevin, time to pick up the equipment.
Yeah.
Time to get to work.
he gets a little busy between girls basketball and then baseball after that.
Yep. A little over 2 minutes to go, Coach. Do you feel that I think these girls have their basketball legs under them, everyone's healthy and starting to piece together for the stretch run that's going to be coming up here in these couple of weeks?
We sure hope so. You know, we have a couple of girls that have missed a few games, and you know, it's a matter of getting back the team chemistry, like you said, your legs, your lungs, all of that stuff, and you hope to peak at the right time.
You know, right now it's just fine-tuning some things as Aaliyah Garcia drives through, puts it in, and pretty much a cherry on top. Aaliyah Garcia, senior, getting ready for Parents' Night here at home. Deep three, won't go, a minute and a half left. A rumor had it that Johnny was going to slip on through here.
I was wondering what his schedule was like and whether we might see a brief appearance from him to come support his daughter. But I didn't know what was going on.
He's open tonight.
Okay.
But in typical, love it, in typical Johnny fashions, I have practice and I have film. Hey, that's what makes him great. You know, that run they went on in 2018, man, that was some run. Made it back to state.
Was that the year they beat Marion on that buzzer beater inbound play?
I was on the baseline. Joe was up on the call. That was probably one of the louder student sections I've come across. That Marion student section was extremely loud, but.
Where was that game played, do you recall?
Seguin, regional tournament.
Oh, it was a tournament game, okay.
Mm-hmm,
that's right, because that's what got them back to state.
Yep, they beat Marion, and the next morning they turn around and beat Cole. See, AB did not go off in that game against Marion. It was Ryan Bettis. He could not be stopped. And then AB Lozoya just flipped that switch on against Cole. Lady Trojans, 75-11. It's going to be a final score. They're going to get the win, and then all roads leading to McMullen County on Tuesday for a shot at a share of the district title. Final score, Lady Trojans 75, Benavides 11. We're going to step aside. Stay tuned for the postgame show coming up next. AP, thanks for joining us. Fun.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Josh Moody and Coach Rolly Gonzalez of Josh Moody Loans are former Harlingen Cardinals and would like to wish all the teams good luck in tonight's games.
Service is attitude. How far are we willing to go to service our community, our dealership here at Fruya, and you? Sky's the limit.
When excellence in academics meets discovery on the court, in the arts, with institutions of higher education and beyond, we are the future leaders, and our success starts now. La Villa ISD, Cardinal Pride.
Josh Moody and Coach Rolly Gonzalez of Josh Moody Loans are former Harlingen Cardinals and would like to wish all the teams good luck in tonight's games.
Welcome back to our post-game show here from San Perlita, Texas. Jasmine Rodriguez, a senior for the Lady Trojans. Starting off with it being that it's a senior night, also parents' night here in San Perlita. Just talk about the emotions coming into tonight, being that it's your last home game, at least in the regular season.
It means a lot. I mean, yeah, like after these last couple seconds, you know, as seniors, it really hit us, you know, that this was going to be the last time we played on this court, like all together. So yeah, just to finish off with a win, it felt real nice. You know, it's just a great atmosphere. You know, being surrounded by others. I'm sorry, fans here in San Perlita. It means a lot. You know, we're a small town, and like everyone's support. It feels real good.
You all, man, Tuesday's win was crazy, huh?
Yeah.
Over at San Isidro, those are always fun. Then you guys come back home and get a win here against Benavides. How big was this week for you guys, just to get right and get ready, knowing that McMullen is on Tuesday?
Yeah, the San Isidro win was really a big one for us. You know, we went in wanting to win. You know, our coach always told us, you know, that game's going to come down to who wanted it more, and sure enough, it did. We struggled a bit with our shots, you know, but we tried to make up for it with our hustle and our defense, which I feel like we did pretty well on. So shout out to the other girls, you know. And then tonight, yeah, just great way to finish off here at home. We're all looking forward to Tuesday's game.
You know, one thing that I asked Max, who's a fellow senior on the boys' side, I talked to Coach Garza about it, was that, you know, you're a senior, Aaliyah and Elisa are all seniors. You guys are veterans. You've been here before. Just how important was it for you guys to focus on Benavides, not looking forward ahead to Tuesday, and just taking care of today's job?
Yeah, we always want to take it one game at a time, you know. And, you know, like a game like this, we wanted to really, like, work on some stuff that'll help us on Tuesday, you know, run some offenses, work on our defense, you know. It's going to be fun on Tuesday. You know, we're really working hard. But, yeah, take it one game at a time, and we'll see how it goes.
All right, last question. Or not a question, but any shout-outs you want to give, any thank yous?
You know, of course, a big shout-out and thank you to my parents, you know, always pushing me and always wanting me to do my best. You know, shout-out to my fellow teammates. You know, we're always supporting one another, trying to help each other reach each other's goals, and it just means a lot to, you know, finish on a season with this team and these girls.
All right, that wraps it up here. We're going to step aside, take a quick break, and we're going to wrap up our coverage here from San Perlita, Texas. Jasmine Rodriguez, Senior, our Luke Furia Motors Player of the Game. Jasmine, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Forever Memories, Antiques and Collectibles, located at 237 North Sam Houston in San Benito, is filled with vintage items, collectibles, and a selection of vinyl records that's as good as it gets. Every shelf, every aisle, and table is filled daily by a number of vendors that ensures that something here just might be the item you have to have. The vinyl record area helps bring an added atmosphere that makes for the fun trip when stepping back in time with the memories. Forever Memories, Antiques and Collectibles in San Benito.
All right, that wraps up our coverage here from San Perlita High School. Thanks for joining us on this chilly night in San Perlita, Texas. The boys get the win. The girls get the win. Boys won at 103-28. Max Graciani, our Luke Furia Motors Player of the Game. On the girls' side, 75-11. Lady Trojans with the win. Jasmine Rodriguez, our Luke Furia Motors Player of the Game. Final score, 75-11. San Perlita Lady Trojans with the win. On behalf of myself, Kevin Arrow, Joe Bowling, and everyone at Rio Sports Live, saying so long and good night from Willacy County.